Hello and welcome back to Avowed. So, last time I spent a whole lot of time, in there, in the Animancer study place thing. There's a lot to read. But eventually we got over here to the governor's house where Gyata was arguing and stuff, and well, it turned out she got exiled eventually. She was just like exiled from the city entirely, just like that, for having different opinions, I guess. I don't know. But yeah. So that's the thing. But yeah. But now, I just want to explore the governor's house. You know, and stuff.
Ignacio's mother is very pleased. Don't disturb her anymore.
Right, and yeah, I also found that apparently she has dream scratch, maybe. So that's a thing. Yeah, and there's a bunch of stuff to read. Let's get to it. I don't know if I read one of these or not. I don't think I did. I think I just decided not to read anything at all. Ignacio Vidal's journal. I sworn to the people on my family's honor that there is no dream skills anymore there. If it exists, it cannot touch our lands. When I am alone at night, I must remind myself of that promise again and again, even if I must scream it to these empty halls. So why do I feel threats pulling away from the fabric of my community, while I strain to hold them together? It's the old man and his prodigy, or else my imagination, but probably them. But it isn't helping my cause, neither does mine. So he knows about. I was wondering, like, it could be you didn't know your mother had the dream skirt right when you wrote that, but no, you clearly did by the end of that sentence. By the end of the journal. So you are deliberately hiding the fact that you know the dream search is real and it's affecting people, including your mother. That is pretty shitty for the governor to be doing that kind of thing. Not gonna lie. Is that the thing above your head that says he can talk to you?
Trees are tearing at their walls, but
No.
we still find time for a good debate.
You have a thing above your head. Maybe it means I can go to camp and talk to you. Is that maybe why you have that thing above your head? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But yeah. I'll stay now. That's not great, man. To be doing that, and then didn't you exile someone for basically saying, "Hey, the dream space is real, and we got to do something about it." Yeah, I don't know. That's the government, I guess. So you're just gonna, what's the word? Be hypocritical. Final journey of Jonas. My son, tomorrow I become the effigy. Tomorrow I become Skane's embodiment of Yoba. Tomorrow my master choked in his own whip. For months we met by secret conclave to plot our landlord's demise, all the while working the fields as if our hearts were content. Skane teaches us to plot with the mind, while keeping one's face impassive. It's beautiful. Fair fights are for those with armies. The Christ slave is our whetstone, our focus. In his worship, our cause finds focus, clarity, and possibility. Tomorrow my master chokes his own whip. By the time you read this, I will be dead. I pray Skane does not abandon me for speaking of my plotting, but the son deserves to know how his father died, for I have volunteered to be the effigy. Skane will inhabit my body, using this old form of simple flesh as a puppet of godly rage. I have been shaved and anointed. Tomorrow morning I will be your father in name only, as my manhood will be removed, my nose and ears removed, and my useless mortal eyes will be replaced with flintstones through which Skane might see the world. That's quite something. My son, I am sorry for the lies I have told you these past few seasons. My Skane demands secrecy. Even your mother knows nothing of my fugitive service to the quiet slave. Curse my name if you must, but never weep for me, for I die for the betterment of our community, to smite our Lord's corruption from the face of the hour. Tomorrow my master chokes in his own whip, for tomorrow I become the effigy. Gay night scripture. Burn, feel thy hatred twist within thee. Feed thyself on his bile, sustain thyself on his anger. This hatred, this bile, this anger, these shall be the tools for thy rebellion. Let thine heart seethe. There is no satisfaction in open confrontation. Hide thine hatred, let it grow that it may fester. Make thy plots in secret. The Christ's slave stays in the shadows, his fate seeks not the light. In darkness doth he work, in darkness doth he move. Rebel against those that seek to control thee, rebel against those that seek to remove thee. Esther's copy of the Midwife's Memoirs. Title page inscribed, to my beloved Esther, in celebration of your quickening. I know how our Queen of Birds comforts you. I gotta sneeze, god damn it. Oh god. Ah man. I am slightly sick. Still. It's gonna be a thing. Helios Wings spare you on Helios Wings spare you both on safe winds in the months to come. With love, your Maxim. Mother lived every note of life's songs. Bringing me into this world was her last verse. For this my father scorned me and abandoned me. For this very same fact my town midwife and adherent of Helia raised me as her own. When I came of age, I learned that Helia visits us on the screams of women in childbirth. And when a woman dies, giving life to her child, her soul is carried away and reborn as an alien attendant of Helia's court. Through the miracle of the Queen of Birds, my mother has been with me, watching over me my whole life. I bear the fetish charms of the cloud singer, the bird I dreamt my mother became. My feather-wreathed trinkets look gaudy and unbecoming, but it is the signal fire to women in need that I am trained midwife, blessed by Helia and living every note of life's song. Sorry for all the sniffling. I don't know. I don't know what to do with this sickness. You just has to endure it. The Queen of Birds wills us to the shepherd and wills us to shepherd new life into the world, and not as the other gods so often desire to end it. A follower of Magwan once mocked my faith, saying I worship paintbrushes and birds, piddling things beneath the gods. I do not resent the other gods and the brutal necessities that they must oversee, but is not language, love, and the arts and creativity that which separates us from simple beasts? Healing allows us to rise above our savage feral selves. I am often amused that upon seeing our holy Aravis, visitors frequently ask, "This is nice, but where's the real temple of Helia?" Perhaps they think Hallowed Ground requires oppressive stoneworks and ceilings that hide the sky. Do not realize the Bird Queen stands not on ceremony. She makes herself manifest in the music of birds and in the beauty of the ubiquitous open sky. Helia prefers the worship of two children singing over 1,000 petitioners, silently praying for victory. The Sky Mother asks so little of us, and yet so much. We are charged to live every note of life's song. It surprises me how many fail to embrace this divine calling. Anonymous letter. Governor Vidawa, all this talk of dreamskirts infecting the land has grown too loud to ignore. If it was just Quilichi, we could see our way past it. Call him senile and the discussion's over, yes? But now Gianna is speaking for him. And you'd be hard-pressed to find an Animancer who doesn't trust Giards like Estelle. To put it plainly, we demand results of one kind or another. Let the old man do his research, or find some way to discredit him. If you're lucky, he'll discredit himself. What are you afraid of, Ignazi? We wonder. Either way, this has to end. It's tearing us apart. Your father would have put a stop to it by now. Be patient, your friends in town. Yata's agricultural report. Governor, my research points to one inevitable conclusion. The harvest will fail. Before you ignore me again, read on. Listen, my father spoke of a river of souls flowing through the island. The souls feed our crops and power our machines. We agree on that much. What do you think happens when the river gets polluted? If you don't believe me, look at your own farms. The soil is hollow. It might even have the dream skirts. The time has come to break the bones of the living lands and set them in more agreeable fashion. Maybe Fiorma is Savannah's only hope. We should discuss this in person. I'm coming with see reason. Best Gianna Castel. Animancers in the modern age. Again, that's a lot to read. It's what it is. Animancy is a science both respected and reviled, sometimes by the same person. For all the research done on the topic, we still know so little. Control over life itself, something Animancers have been working towards for hundreds of years. There is no real records of how the practice of animancy was first discovered. Once the spark of knowledge is ignited, there was no stopping its inevitable discoveries. In 2260 AI, Animancers, as a result of their extensive research, safely contained and transferred a soul. The subject of the experiment, whose name is unknown, was young and wealthy but infirm. The idea was to move his soul from the dying body and into that of a recently deceased man who had suffered an accident. The new body, bearing only slight decay, would house the soul, giving the man a much better life. The outcome of this experiment resulted in the condemnation and outlaw of animancy in the Demon Empire. Again, while we have no true records of what happened, as they were destroyed after animancy was outlawed, a journal was discovered, a makeshift confession by one of the participants. Excerpt from that journal follows. 2260 AI, from Prima 16. It is done, and the gods forgive us for our arrogance. I'm not sure what I was expecting, certainly not that, but what did Enterprise expect? Still, behind the revulsion there is a sense of pride, something I can't deny. All the research, the studying, everything we worked for, we thought we'd change the world. How it's changed? All was in place. The twisted form lying on the table next to its new vessel. The equipment had been prepared. The tinctures and potions all carefully crafted. Every detail painstakingly organized to ensure success. We most certainly succeeded. The procedure went exactly as it should. The soul, extracted from the old body, held, bound in place to prevent it from moving on. Then the next step, transfer to the fresh vessel. It was beautiful and terrifying. I listened as they spoke the words of binding. Watched the soul move. Not the soul itself, of course, but the vapor we used to detect it. As it lowered into the vessel, a gentle luminescence covered the body, and then nothing. Silence, darkness, and my breath, afraid that even the slightest disturbance would destroy all our hard work. And motion. Then, dear gods, then blood. How did I survive? I do not know. The vessel rose from the slab, and the room breathed. Whatever. Every person crowded around the tables exhaled. Some cheered. We had made life from death. We had become eternal. The body closed its eyes and tilted its head, looking for all purposes to be listening for something, or to it. Then its eyes popped open and moved. Its lips peeled back from its teeth in a horrible expression of fury. It fell on the nearest man, tearing his throat and knocking him to the ground. Then the room erupted into screams, shouts, and a flurry of bodies running, pushing, doing everything in their power to get away from the creature sitting on their collie. Right before that happened, in a split second before chaos, when there was nothing in the air but a stunned, terrified silence, I heard it, sitting there on his chest, with his neck. It was feasting. The Rosian calendar. Named after the inventor who studied the motion of the stars. Evrosio, I guess. Evosio's calendar replaced its less practical predecessors in 2680 AI. The Day-One calendar was steeped in the traditions of his post-tribal kingdom, and including days of reverence devoted to political stations long since rendered obsolete. According to Evosio's observation, it will take 334 days of 27 hours each to orbit the sun. He divided the 16 months of 20 days each, equally by the seasons. So now we know how that works. I'm not gonna remember all that, but it's interesting. It's 27 hours to orbit the sun. Anyway, whether or not it is coincided with the Demon calendar, farms and small communities traditionally reserved 3 days for prayer and preparation between seasons. Evosio factor these days into this calendar, as well as those reserved for celebrating the beginning and midpoint of the year. The names of the months and adjacent days of celebration are listed below with varying translations. New Year, a day to celebrate the arrival of the new year. Of all the holidays, this one is celebrated by most people around the living lands and the whaling republics. Each new year is greeted with a fervent zeal to begin things anew and start with a fresh slate. Deep winter, Fontivano, late winter, Terivano. Spring dawn, 3 days, in Prima, used to celebrate the transition of worlds. Rebirth in spring. European festivals are especially prevalent at this time, or were prior to the Saints' War. Early spring, Prima, mid spring, My Prima, deep spring, Fun Prima, late spring, Ta Prima. Summer rising, 3 days, Inesto, a period of transition from birth to growth. Many ceremonies designed to usher children into adulthood take place during summer rising. Early summer, Presto, midsummer, Mediesto. Mid-year, the day of reflection and introspection. The year is half over. People who made promises on New Year use mid-year to assess their progress and renew their oaths. Deep summer, Fernesto. Late summer, Terresto. Autumn falling, Inautumn. Gonna have to forgive my pronunciations. Harvest celebrations happen during autumn falling if the crops were particularly bountiful. If the harvest was small, supplication is given to the gods asking for a better harvest the following year. Early autumn, Priaton. Mid-autumn, Maiaton. Deep autumn, Funaton. Late autumn, Taraton. Winter dusk, 3 days, Inverno. Winter dusk is filled with celebrations of life and rituals for the dead. The world is returning to sleep, plants die, and those still alive wait until to another. Early winter, Pre-Verno. Midwinter, Mai-Verno. So that's the whole year. I'm not gonna remember exactly those, but hey, whenever we see those dates pop up on, whatever, we have a vague idea of them now. So do you have anything to say?
I'm sorry you had to witness that spectacle. Giata is a spirited animancer, but she can be intolerable at times. Whatever you may think of us, I welcome you to Fiorme Sivello.
You really don't believe this crisis is as bad as it looks? Why don't you listen to Giata or Quilici? Never a dull moment. Thank you, I'll be going.
I believe the nature of the living lands is unpredictable, and animancy is our best chance at getting it under control. But what Giata wishes to do is more dangerous by far than what she's trying to solve. Quilici wants us panicking over what he can't even prove. If there's a threat to Emerald's Dale, it's that old man and his fear-mongering. Don't waste your time on him.
Do you mind if I work with Giata? Why are you so afraid of him? Noted, I appreciate the warning. That'll be my choice to make.
He was loyal to my father, but never to me. And he knows how to rally others to his side.
He reminds me of a lieutenant I served under. led us into a trap because he wouldn't admit his maps were wrong.
If there's nothing more, I have a city to run.
Why is Mona locked up in her bedroom? Would our camp of steel? Would our camp of steel-covered paladins hiding in the wilderness? We had also was spying for the Silk Road. A tree ain't one of you people. Right, that's a thing. Do you still think there's no Christ animals there? Did you know Elder Wasano has been leaving food out for the deceased? Well, for now. Well, let's just see where this goes.
I knew I heard someone snooping about. And you have the gall to confront me like a common criminal. This conversation is over.
Oh. Does he have the Dangerfield? What are you hiding? But I had other questions.
That is not a topic for discussion. I'll hear no more of this. You go about your business, and I'll go about mine.
Relax, I'm cool. Just asking questions.
Envoy, I hope you enjoy my fair city.
Okay, we do get to actually talk about this. I was like, oh, did I just mess it up? Can't say anything about this. I mean, yeah, didn't expect to get much of a great response from doing that, but anyway, let's see where this all goes.
Steel garrote? Here? Well, well. Apparently nature is not the only foe in Emerald Stair. Worse, my rangers turned a blind eye to it. Satisfy my curiosity. Why am I hearing this from the Adiran envoy? Don't you and the Steel garrote share the same master?
I am my own master. I serve the Empire. You serve a god. It doesn't mean I trust him. The Steel garrote are religious fanatics. We have nothing to do with each other.
For my sake, I'm glad to hear it. Take this with my gratitude. And let us pray this is the last we've seen of the Steel garrote.
You started spying for the Steel garrote.
What a disgrace. Among other things, the Steel garrote persecute Animancers. They love nothing more than to unravel everything we built here. Tell me, what's your interest in this matter?
Captain Ciano asked me to investigate. Just what you should know. Rub your thumb and forefinger together. Purely financial. Yeah.
If she convinced an Adiran envoy to unmask an Adiran spy, clearly I'm not paying her enough. I appreciate the warning. If more Adirans were like you, maybe we wouldn't have to worry about the Steel garrote.
So what about that tree?
No one is denying that the Living Lands is a dangerous frontier. Take Fior Mesiverno. This city has fought a war of attrition since the day my father laid the first stone. You saw for yourself what's happened to the Delamgan in recent years. We have always persisted, and nothing will change that. Nothing.
This is not a fight you can win. You're telling me I can have this tree is perfectly normal then? Fair enough.
Oh, it's far from perfect, but it's ours. I know the Living Lands must seem wild and untamed to one so accustomed to the comforts of court. Some of us have the distinction to call this place home, sharp edges and all. We can outlast the wilderness.
Clearly doing a good job at it. I mean, really. This place is worse for wear. That's pretty clear, but... well, you just see what you want to see.
The short answer is yes, I'm aware.
Oh god, sorry.
To a point. We are a community of Animancers. Among other things, we have a healthy respect of the dead. I have no wish to anger the departed, but then again, my first responsibility is to the living.
Give them more silence offerings. You people need this more than the dead. You're more open-minded than I expected. You don't think what she's doing is a problem. That's what you know. I only want want to say that. I don't know if I agree to say that about him. I'll just say this honestly.
There's nothing wrong with staying informed. Thank you, Envoy.
I don't know if I should have. I didn't actually really explore, in here before I talked to him. Maybe there was something I could have done to get more information before I confronted him. I don't know, but probably should have done that, honestly. I don't know, I didn't. Anyway, Ignacy, I write this in a rare moment of clarity. Before he left us, your father was a proud, stubborn, wonderful man. We offer you a word of advice on his behalf. Those who rule with power are destined to be overthrown by power. Those who rule with heart are destined to be cherished long after they are gone. I can feel the fog drifting over my thoughts. Goodbye, Ignacy. Hopefully not for long. Your mother Estelle. Shimmering wings, gnashing teeth, chew through the dirt. Where are my hands, Ignacy? Where are my hands? My hands, my hands, my hands! Oh boy. It's pretty impressive you can still write, despite everything, It's funny, like, these kind of notes, you would see them in games with, like, actual, like, recordings of actual voices, left about, very Bioshock-esque. That's a thing you would see in Bioshock for sure. But it's in written form, so it's a little sillier when you really think about it. Like, how are you able to write despite being all, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. But, apparently you can. What do I know? Flower of Winter by Maxim Medell. The Valiant Republic swindled me out of the Sangueda de Kula, or something. Ducala, rather. Anyway, denied me my bond right to lead Spivento's government. I would not take such insult lying down. Skin was behind me all along, whispering to my ear, caressing my shoulder with skinless fingers. Together we saw the revolution. Now we can actually taste the fruit it bore. I can only imagine the days Spivento awoke to discover the empty halls of academia, the pillaged libraries. Where did our brightest minds go? Where are the Animancers? They blamed me, yet they had no one to blame but themselves. We journeyed to this frontier in defiance of the Valiant Republics. We remain because our community is a living revolution. Proof that we can thrive without a golden chain about our necks. Can I actually talk to you?
Teeth. Dance. Nail. Oh, my mouth.
Sorry. That's rough. I don't know if that was much I could have found that would have changed that conversation. Alright, well, I guess we should, go find those peeps we do want to find. One of them is in here. The others seem to be outside, though, it looks like. Okay, it's you. Right.
For an Adiran, you're very resourceful, and a more than capable companion for poor Giada.
Do you have any idea what it took to get that heart? I got missing money. Now tell me about the dream skirts. Does Giada not have many friends? I'm assuming you have everything you need for your research. Oh, okay. I think I might have skipped past a little bit here. Oh yeah, I was supposed to get that heart or whatever. And then, like after I talk to you here. Well, I don't know what this was all about, but I got a thing for you.
Nature is as stubborn as ever, I see. Fair enough. Here's payment for your troubles. Now that I've got the heart, my thirsty invention will drink deeply of its essence. All that's left to do is calibrate it. First things first. Let's have a look at your soul.
Definitely missed some context in here.
Induce a metaphysical quiver.
But,
No,
well,
not to worry, just testing your reflexes. Let's start with an easy one. You wake up on a beach. looking up into the sun. Your hands are covered in blood.
I find it faulty and think what happened. Wash my hands in the sea and leave. I continue looking at the sun. What kind of question is that? I mean, yeah.
It's less of a question and more of a stimulus. As long as you're honest, there's no wrong answer.
Forget the next question. I don't know what I would answer, honestly. I guess.
All right. Let's try some word association. Tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Pendulum.
That's a Yu-Gi-Oh thing. That's literally the first thing I ever think of when I hear that word. Having played Yu-Gi-Oh for a while. Divination, clock, seasons, puppeteer. Okay. I mean, what would I think of besides that? I guess a clock? I mean, yeah, I guess so.
Chrysalis.
Self-destruction, transformation, secrets, protection. Transformation.
Spark ignites a flame. An idea ignites a war.
Hello? You still with me?
Oh yeah, you just got a voice talking in my head, it's fine. I'm fine, let's continue. Pretty sure I felt that metaphysical quiver you were talking about. That was the voice in my head. The entity tailored to my soul.
Good. We're getting somewhere. Hey, let's go over your results. Your soul is like a piece of sea glass. All the edges are smoothed down. Quite beautiful, really. Your godlike nature is a marvel to behold.
Anything else? Can you tell me whose godlike I am? The Western parodies told me there's a phone in my soul.
Usually all it takes is a mirror. Not my area of expertise, I'm afraid. What I see is something entangled about your soul. An outside presence that both is and isn't a part of you. It's old, dark, and rather tricky to pin down. Very interesting.
I need to trace it back to the source. What is it doing to me? Do you think it can be removed?
Nothing harmful. At least not yet. Fascinating. Thank you for getting my machine calibrated again. But you came for Giata's theory of the dream scourge. Between the two of us, she's on to something. Our farms are in great peril. The essence has been drained from the land. Diverted. Like the flow of a river.
The lesson has to go somewhere. So yeah, that's right. Why did anyone step in to defend her? Can anyone be responsible?
Exactly. And if I know essence, it can't have gone too far. All I can tell you is keep looking. You'll find what you're after. As much as I hate giving people bad news, that's all I have. Please give Giata my fondest regards.
Keep looking. I'm getting a bad feeling about what we'll find.
I hope you find that.
So yeah, I might have missed some context, some more there, because again, I apparently had the heart and placed the heart already. Don't remember when I got that, but I guess I had it. But yeah, that's gonna happen sometimes. You know, again, because of all my exploration stuff. This really looks like there's a secret wall here sometimes, doesn't it? I mean, yeah, there's a clear door, but let's see if I can get in there. Anyway, you know, just because of all my exploration, I'm gonna find stuff that the game didn't want me to find yet, or didn't expect me to find.
The food stores won't replenish themselves.
Perhaps the crops are.
But anyway. Alright. Let's go out. Do the other stuff we gotta do. Oh god, sorry again, man. I thought I was getting a little bit better, but I've been feeling not as good today as did the last few days, so that's a bit annoying. I don't know. It's getting sick is annoying, you know. You never quite know when things are turning for the better or for the worse until it does. Yeah. Hopefully it'll be fine. I don't want to feel as bad as I did a while ago. That was really bad. I don't feel absolutely terrible. I just feel kind of bad right now, like the early stages of being sick, you know. But hopefully it's not anything major. Yeah. Could probably teleport to these guys, but it's not that far away, technically speaking. Probably would take a lot longer to just teleport. You know? Ah, God. Sorry. Hello, it's been a while.
My farmhands are very affectionate. Feel free to pet them if you like.
Pass. Gara, what is your opinion on the dream sketch?
Giatta Castel wants my professional opinion. What an honor. I have a few theories, but no firm conclusions. I have to ask, is it true? Did Vidaro kick her out of town?
I'm afraid it. Costello's fast these parts. Better is the word used, probably to make it sound official. To be fair, she was a bit out of line.
That's our governor for you. Self-righteous even in his own ignorance. Very well. I'll tell you what I know about the Dream Scourge. But first, I need some help around the farm. I'm up to my ears in chores around here, and the Revenants can only do so much. They can't do complicated tasks, you see. Anyway, I'm afraid the time has come to put down poor Silvo.
Oh, didn't we already do that? Or is that someone else? If you're talking about the Revenant in your barn, I dealt with him. Yeah, we did that already. Let me guess, Sylvia needs an account code. I'm so sorry, that's terrible. You want me to draw you from across your throat? Yeah, we already did that.
You did? That was quick.
For
Poor
totally valid reasons.
He was a bright young Revenant.
Not all
but
I
a
got
very
anyway.
old man.
You were gonna do it anyway.
Thank you for giving me
So,
peace.
you know, we didn't commit murder, kinda. If you can kill someone who's already dead. I don't know. You promised me some answers. Are you going to be alright? Silver didn't have a lot of fight left in him. How is one going to test a walking corpse?
You wouldn't know it to look at him. But on a full stomach, he was as gentle as a lamb.
Do they have stomachs?
The Dream Scourge. I've been keeping an eye on the readings from my fields. This plague, as we know it, is a recent development. But I believe whatever causes it is older by far. Maybe even as old as the living lands. The exotic plants and animals, the twisted landscape, the Dream Scourge. They have a common ancestor. There's something about the essence in the living lands that's different from anywhere else I've seen.
I've been to plenty of unusual names. None of them had a spirit plague. You haven't shared these finds with anyone? Some of my colleagues must have arrived at the same conclusion. We need to find the source of the difference if there's any hope of stopping it.
Precisely my point. There is something unique at the heart of this. Not to get too superstitious, but in these troubled times, the arrival of a godlike is no coincidence. You are meant to be here. Towards what end, only you can say.
Fascinating. I'm sure Yana will be interested to hear this. I'm a bit skeptical, but thank you for your insight. Otherwise, you don't know anything. What if it has something to do with the entity tethered to my soul?
Seems a little far-fetched. Then again, what isn't these days? You're a godlike, so anything is possible. Perhaps your nature will grant you more answers.
And they kind of started appearing after we got to this land, you know? Like, obviously the dream scares was a thing before, but, you know, we came here because of it, in a way. I don't know, I mean, I still don't really know what the whole deal is with the voice and what it wants and what it's doing. But I mean, there's gotta be a reason why it's talking to us, you know. Anyway, fascinating. I'm sure you're willing to hear this.
Well, I'm happy to give her some good news for a change. You and Giat are going to shake things up. As for me, I'll be keeping a close eye on my flock.
Oh, and thank you for the nightmare fuel. I really have been sleeping entirely too well lately.
I'm remembering why people find this place unsettling.
This was not the best way to get out of there. I just kind of witnessed the crow flies or whatever the saying is.
Wonder if she needs a new research partner.
Or maybe a test subject?
Both. Anything to work with great Giata Castel.
Remy, look what I found. A genuine godlike.
Do you think they can hear us?
Let's find out. Hello, me, Yvette. You friend?
This is You do realize I can understand you perfectly. Sure, friend. Blame them with incomprehension.
Remy, take a note. The endangered godlike's vacant gaze betrays an unquenchable thirst for violence. We heard that Giada partnered up with an outsider, but I had no idea you were a godlike. Fascinating.
Yeah, I want me to learn about the dream skirts. Why are you telling me I'm some kind of specimen in that yarn? Word travels fast.
It's just that we've never met a godlike before. This is a big day for us.
Giata must have sent you to be our test subject. She knows how we adore your
no.
kind. Satisfy our curiosity
Definitely
and
no.
we'll give you everything Giata needs to finish her research. Deal?
Ugh. I'm not super into this. Deal, let's get this over with. That depends on what you want from me. Everything? Why haven't you told her this already? And I suppose you'll help me out of the goodness of your hearts.
The information wouldn't be worth anything if we just gave it to her freely, now would it? Let's begin the examination. If you could choose, who or what would you be in your next life? Next time you go round the wheel, you might not get so lucky.
I'd like to come back as a godlike. I wouldn't mind blending into the crowd for a change. I don't know, I guess I'd like to be some kind of mushroom. Lucky? You think I'm lucky? This is what you wanted to know? I want to be a mushroom.
Ooh, good answer.
My turn. Some would call you blessed. Others would call you cursed. The fact remains, you were touched by the gods. Wouldn't you say that you owe something to the rest of us?
I owe you nothing. try to help people whenever I can. I wasn't born to be a savior. Excuse me? I mean, I don't. Nobody owes anyone anything.
No need to take offense. We merely seek to learn.
Oh, I thought of another. We all know that godlike can't reproduce. How do you plan on leaving a legacy after you're gone?
Did we know that? Didn't that was that told to us before? Maybe. I don't remember that being told to us, but okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Hopefully people remember me in the ways I've touched their lives. There are many ways to leave a legacy, and mine are none of your business. These are the worst questions I've ever heard. God again can reproduce? That explains a few things. Like what? I want to see where this goes.
Oh, didn't anyone tell you?
No, no one ever mentioned it. Must have slipped my mind. My nature wasn't an open topic of discussion at home. Say nothing.
Oh dear, Yvette. I think we've hit a sore topic. Shame you had to learn it from us. Do you have an answer or not? Very optimistic, aren't we? I think that covers everything. Thank you for that brilliant insight, Godlike. You're a credit to your dwindling kind.
So, Giada wants to know all about the Dream Scourge, yes? Such has been her research of late. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
Some good news, please, for the love of the gods. Just give me the bad news. I wanted to you to stop practicing Animancers forever. Wow, okay.
The Dream Scourge is proof that an unprecedented metaphysical disaster can take place at any time.
Oh, that's a load off my mind. Sure beats not constantly worrying about the future.
How's that good news?
Giada will be interested to learn that the Dream Scourge cannot just be studied in a lab. Its nature is wild, so it has to be studied in the wild. Our machines and experiments would meddle with it too much.
And like anything affecting the soul, it must be connected to essence. Thus, if she wishes to discover more about the Dream Scourge, a pillar of Adra would be a good place to start.
Wait, slow down. What does that have to do with that Dream Scourge? I assume not just any pillar will do, because nothing is ever that simple. Ilya believes the Dream Scourge and living lands have a common ancestor. One more question. What do I do about the entity tethered to my soul? Wonderful, we're done here. Yeah, there is a lot about the essence. That's all what they've all been saying. That's apparently important to the Dream Scourge. Which I guess makes sense in a way. Like, it's all about, you know, the essence is the very essence of nature, of the magic and everything. And the Dream Scourge affects the mind, and, you know, if the essence and the soul and such are connected, and the Dream Scourge, and, you know, there's stuff going on with that. Like, it's all kind of connected to the nature of the world. That's what it seems to be saying. So yeah. Anyway.
Ah, of course. The idea is a bit high-minded. Adra acts like a pathway for souls as they rejoin the wheel.
And the Dream Scourge is a plague of the soul, is it not?
So, just as Adra channels essence, so too may it provide a key to discovering more about the Dream Scourge.
Right. That's kind of what I was saying a little bit. Like, yeah. That it's all connected. One more question. What do I do about the entity tethered to my soul?
An entity, you said? If this entity is your patron, that's all perfectly natural. But if it's something else, with enough essence and a capable Animancer, perhaps you could trace this tether back to its source.
Right, and with a little fresh sake, you can follow an ogre back to its lair. Still wouldn't recommend it.
Just be careful that your tether doesn't snap back and kill you in the process.
Now that we've researched the mind of a godlike, the next step is anatomy. But we've taken enough of your time. Farewell.
Hurry, before they change their minds.
Well,
Okay.
if it isn't my fate.
yeah, I'm just looking at the time, and if I stop right now, kinda wanna check in and get out of here. Maybe do I feel like I don't have the time to do all that? Eh. Hey, okay, I will do it. I'll do it. I want to. So if you can hear me adjusting the headset, just had to scratch my ear and then to readjust it. Sorry about that. Did I read this one? Let's do Ectar. Ectar, I gathered some ingredients for you, all from legitimate sources, of course. Please break some delicious with them. Something to inspire us, something to remind us of the old times, like your father's famous blueberry tart. Gifted magpie won't out of business on my watch. I think that's won't go out of business on my watch. Yeah, I think there's a word missing. Yeah, I'm gonna steal all the ingredients or whatever. Anyhow, you can easily miss little notes and everything around the world. Like, I am glad you have this, glow around them, because man, if it didn't, finding things would be impossible. But even then, I will miss something. Alright, well, we did your thing.
I have a lot of packing ahead of me, but I've earned a short rest.
I met with all of the Animancers. Consulted with Mental Pastor and the others, yeah. And very impolite exchange with Yvette and Remy. Okay, I think I wanna go through the individual ones instead of this top one, probably, to get more info, more talking. I want that. I don't wanna just skip it all if I can help it. And you never quite know. That is one thing I really wish, like, that you could go through more options at once, or like you kinda knew which options, led to, not being able to go back to other options, Because sometimes you can go through more options, and sometimes you can't, and it's always a little unclear. And yeah, you never quite know. It's a bit annoying, but that's how the game works, and that's just how it is. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go through these ones.
And you got his machine up and running. That's what I call progress. I helped Monto after his wife died. She was brilliant, and he took the loss hard. I'm going to miss him. I hope you had an enlightening visit at the corpse farm.
Well,
Elia is
there's
one
something.
of my favorite neighbors, second only to Quilici. When her best farmhand got stuck up a tree, I got him down in one piece. Well, several pieces. I've always looked up to her. I hate to admit it, but I saw that one coming. Those two don't get out much. When Ignacy took away their research funding, I pulled some strings to get it back. He told me I was a fool, but they'll prove him wrong someday. I have faith. Sounds like you've met with everyone. We're ready to get started. So, did you learn anything of particular interest?
You're right about the dream skirts. It's all interesting and fun. We need a pillar of Adva. It might be able to connect dream skirts to what's happening in living lanes. Something is draining the life from your farms. The only question is what? Animancers are unhinged, unregulated, and too dangerous to be left alone. Like, you can really go a completely different route in all of this. Just be like, fuck Animancers, You can totally just do that. I appreciate it, it's an RPG. You can roleplay if you want to, and you can certainly go a very different direction. like a lot of these have like at least one that's like I don't like Animancers, you know. But yeah, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. But you know, we certainly can. I mean, yeah, this seems like the most promising thing, right? The Pillar of Adra. That could be something.
Makes sense. You won't find a better source of energy. Look at us. Barely even started. And already we're making progress. Monto's machine is working, Elia will keep an eye on her revenants, and Yvette and Remy are providing us an alibi.
Run that by me again? I should have known he had an ulterior motive. Outside the dream skirts or playing a heist. What about the details? What's it for me? What are you talking about here?
I needed those Animancers for more than their expertise. Monto's invention nullifies spiritual interference. Having it up and running means we won't get any false signals. Whenever I tap into an Adra pillar, Elia's farmhands tend to get a little bitey. Thanks to you, they won't be a problem. And then there's Yvette and Remy, the governor's eyes and ears. In exchange for privacy, I gave them a test subject. I'd call that a good day's work.
Okay. Impressive. What's next? Sounds like you covered every detail and contingency imaginable. I hope the expertise was helpful as well. You really should tell me these things beforehand. I mean, honestly, a little bit, but... well, yeah.
Animancy takes a lot of preparation. You might only have one chance to run through an experiment. Now we just need the right equipment for the job. When my parents died, they left me their life's work. An invention like no other. A phantasmal focus.
Outstanding. Where's it? Phantasmal focus? We didn't think to get it while I was out.
Think of it as a spiritual tuning fork, or a dowsing rod. It has many functions, some more obvious than others. The problem is it's in the basement. I haven't gone down there since the accident. Since they died.
I'm sure everything's fine. It's just a spooky death basement.
I would get it myself, but I'm not ready to face what's down there.
Don't worry, I went down and grabbed it for you. Didn't mean to bring up bad memories. Do you want to talk about it? It's down there.
Terrible mistake. The door to the basement is just outside, around the corner. Of course you'll need a key. Please excuse the mess.
Okay. I wonder if there's gonna be like the dungeon.
That's where our parents died. I'm glad we can spare her from having to go back. Okay, walking into the basement of an Animancer I just met. Right, feels great.
What if I wonder if there's gonna be like the dungeon when we found the what's it call it? The assassin. Is it gonna be a whole thing? Could be. Or it's just a small little basement you go down. It's always hard to know with this game if it's gonna be a big thing or a small thing. But certainly I'm not gonna do it now. I'm not gonna be silly. Let's just save the game. But yeah, we are making progress. I know I have a few side quests I want to do, but I kind of want to, again, go through this. Because I still wonder, like, I don't know, it's seeming more and more likely that she's not going to be a party member. Like all this work and we haven't gotten her on a party, yet. So I'm like, maybe this is just an NPC and, an important NPC, sure, but not an actual party member. I just really thought that she felt like she was gonna be one, but I mean, again, there's clearly 2 more spaces here. There's clearly space for 2 more party members, So I fully expect we're gonna have someone else, but I mean, maybe I'm wrong. But I have 123 grenades, it looks like. Jesus Christ, I should be using these so much more. I should just be throwing them at everything, like who cares, It's silly. But It's fine. It's fine. All right. Yeah. That's it. Again, I think maybe those icons mean you have something at camp to talk about. Maybe, I'm not sure, but I should also do that at some point. Get to a camp. But yeah. Alright, well, we pretty much finished town now. I think we can pretty much say that. Like, sure, there might be a quest or two around we're still doing in here and stuff, and you know, probably missed a thing or two, but town's pretty much done. Now we're just doing the quests, the main quest, and yeah. I don't know if it's gonna be a whole dungeon or just a small little thing down there, but guess we'll find out next time, and yeah, that's it. Bye.